Welcome back to Double P with the Three. I'm Chris.
I'm Marcus.
I'm Toby.
And today we're talking about asexual and sexual reproduction.
Sexual reproduction is when you need a mate and you need to be a little bit older so there you can have a child.
There's also something in sexual reproduction called mutations, and it doesn't happen in asexual reproduction, but in sexual reproduction, there's like mutations are like Down syndrome, autism, ADHD, and some of the mutations aren't you can't see those mutations, but they're there.
So that's such as you don't have to, sometimes they're not very noticeable. So basically, if your father has brown eyes and your mom has blue eyes and you get hazel eyes, that's such as a mutation from taking traits, because in sexual reproduction you need two parents to make an offspring, which is basically you take traits from both parents.
The cool thing about sexual reproduction is that you're always going to be unique, and there's nobody ever going to be like you, and you can also get traits from your grandparents.
So basically, moving on from sexual reproduction, we're going to start talking about asexual reproduction, which is sort of the opposite. Asexual reproduction is where there is one parent and they can make a uniform offspring because they don't need two parents. There are no mutations because there's only one parent.
About this story, or about asexual reproduction, there is a story about starfish, and fishermen were fishing and they kept just getting starfish and starfish and starfish, and so when they caught them, they'd cut off the legs of the starfish and they would make it so they would just throw them back and the legs would grow new bodies, and because starfish are asexual, they don't need a mate to reproduce.
So basically, sort of special thing with asexual reproduction is, going on to that story, is that they can reproduce limbs, such as if you cut off an arm right now, it's not going to reproduce. You're going to need an aesthetic arm. But in asexual reproduction, they regrow the arm.
And talking about asexual reproduction, when we were talking about sexual reproduction, I was talking about mutations, but in asexual reproduction, you can't have mutations, because imagine you have a starfish has 1,000 babies. They're all going to be the same, and it's impossible for it to get a mutation. And on that, so basically, if there's a sunflower can't get Down syndrome.
Yeah. So really, there's something called budding, and budding is where a parent has seeds and they drop little seeds. So this is basically like the kids, and they will all grow uniform. And another good thing about asexual reproduction is there will be thousands of uniforms, so they can make a whole load of them.
And another good thing about asexual reproduction is that it's faster, and it's way less time consuming because you don't need to find a mate.
Okay, so that is all we have for today on sexual and asexual reproduction. So see you guys in another episode.